Hi, I'm back with another video, and this time it's an update on the federal jury notice that I got a few months ago. I made a video about how I was on the list to potentially be a juror, and this would be the first time I will get to be a juror on anything. And this will be a first outside of my immediate family of my mom, my dad, me, and my brother to actually get to be a federal juror because both my parents didn't get to do that. My dad still hasn't, and my mom never got to. And my grandfather, I remember saying in the video, he was like a federal juror multiple times. I know of at least two, but I think there was way more than that he got to do. And so I was I've been kind of, excited, nervous, worried, scared, because I'm kind of excited because this is something, new. I haven't been a juror yet in the local area, so this is going to be a first for me, so I'm kind of nervous. And then I'm kind of excited, kind of nervous and worried about that. And then I'm nervous and worried about it being all day. How long is it gonna take? What's gonna happen? Um, kind of. I know a lot of people are, feel that way, and then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's gonna disrupt everything. How's this gonna work out? How am I gonna get this all done? Making plans for making sure I get everything done before I leave, because of the fact that I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm currently filling out the paperwork for. I found out I'm a petite juror, which is apparently an alternate juror. So I have to fill out a form they sent me. So I'm currently trying to finish it up. It's like small print and that kind of thing, and so I have to keep the top half to bring with me, and I have the bottom part that I have to send in. And so I'm over here trying to read it all. I had a flashlight out trying to read it. I need to figure out how many miles it is from my house to the courthouse, so that they can reimburse me for the miles that it takes to get there. I haven't written down my phone number, and I think there was something else. Oh, I need to sign it, and there was something else on there I forgot I haven't done yet. So by the time I do this, I will be making it. By the time this video goes up, I will be finished with it and sending it off. I got this on Saturday. It said you got 5 days to send it in, so I didn't know if that meant from Sunday or Monday. But I'll have it in long before the 5 days. And so when I was reading all the paperwork, like I said, I found out I'm a petite juror, like I said, which means apparently an alternate. And so they said I have to fill out the form, and then either I have to fill out the form and send it in, or go online to fill it out. Then they said that keep the top part so I can bring it in. You're not supposed to have a phone, so I have to leave my phone at home. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta leave my phone at home. Trials often settle out of court after jurors are summoned, reducing the number of jurors. So, 5 p.m. on Friday, October 4th, I need to call or go to their website to confirm whether I'm needed to appear for jury service or not. And so they said, they got the phone number, and, of course, they have the information for the website. And they said, after checking by phone, unless otherwise advised, please report to the courthouse on Tuesday, October 5th at 7:30 a.m. And I'm hoping that this is not going to be one of those, I'm there all day. That's what I was telling my dad, because my dad was like, are you sure you're not going to have to be there when I was telling about it? And that's like what says it right there. So I'll probably call to confirm, but my dad wanted to make sure, so I don't get in trouble for not being there when I'm supposed to be. And I told him, I said, that's what the paperwork said. And I told him it says it says 7:30. And of course, they were talking about trials dismissed at 5 p.m. By the judge. If they go over and they want you to stay there longer, they will give you time to call home to tell your family, make any arrangements if you need, or if you're having a ride, come pick you up. And so my dad was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be all day. And I'm like, yeah. He said, hopefully that's not gonna be the case. And I remember when I testified, I haven't been a juror, but I have testified in a courtroom. I have testified twice. I went 3 times and testified twice. The first time I went, that had to be there at 7:30. And so I got there early. I think they wanted me there earlier than that. I think it was 7:30 of the trial. I think I had to be there at 6:30 or 6:45. And I sat there from 6:30 or 6:45 until I think it was 6 or 6:30, and they finally the people up there kept looking at me because they had locked the doors and I was the only one there, and they kept looking at me and kept checking me sure I didn't need anything or did I need to call anybody, was I okay, and they kept looking at the courtroom, and I ended up not getting to testify that day. So I spent from, like I said, 6:30, 6:45 till like 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought I was leaving. And finally they finally dismissed, and they told me I could go ahead and go home, and they were sorry. They would let me know when I needed to testify. And so, like I said, I didn't get home until like I said between 6:30 and 7:30 because I can't remember what time it actually they let out, but I want to say it was between 6:45 and 7:30, and I was just so exhausted. And then I finally got to testify in the second time, and it was a long time too. I don't think I got home. I think I got home earlier that time. I think it was actually 5:30, 6 o'clock instead of like between 6:45 and 7:30. And then the third time I got up there, that time they asked me to come in at, it was supposed to be 7:30, and I think they didn't ask me to get there at like 6:30. And so we went to lunch, and then we came back, and the trial was over with by like 2, and we were home by like 3. Because I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot do another sitting here until 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I mean, it's like I thought I would be there till the next day. I'm like, I can't be here all day. I'm getting tired. I'm hurting because, of course, the benches and stuff they have you sitting in while you're waiting are not exactly comfortable. And walking around all this on the stairs and walking up and down the floor while I was waiting and sitting in the seats and moving around every time somebody came in and changed spots and then I was getting tired. I was exhausted, I was tired, I was hurting, I was starting to get hungry, I was getting thirsty, and I was just so ready to get out of there. And finally it was like, thank you for releasing me. So I'm kind of afraid that's what's going to happen with this. And so I'm just like, ugh. So that's kind of adding to the worry and stuff. And so when it said to check it on the 4th to make sure I'm supposed to be there, if it doesn't say no, you're not supposed to be, I guess I just assume I'm supposed to be there on the 8th. And so I'm like, okay. And then of course I have to leave my phone at home. I have to bring the top part of the paper after I fill it out, the bottom part, and send it off with me. They have all the information about like where the courthouse is and parking fees and reminder reimbursement stuff. They said that besides the jurors, sometimes trials end up being settled, so you don't need to be a juror sometimes. They said that if you're not selected, you'll have instructions regarding the future reporting days. They will give you as much notice as possible. They said most trials average approximately 3 days. Occasionally, their trial will last several days. The judge will dismiss around 5 p.m. Dismiss for the day each evening and tell you exactly when you need to return. Trials usually recess around 5 p.m. It is necessary for the trial to continue later into the evening. They'll let you know so you can tell, like I said, your family and whoever's if anybody's taking you home, that kind of thing. So I thought that was nice that they'll give you enough notice. They said they got me through my voter registration, because my dad was like, how did they find you? So apparently through the voter registration is what they said, is how I guess they're finding everybody. And then of course they have restrooms, and they have apparently signs that let you know when you leave elevators. They have a lounge area, telephones, restrooms, providing the jury assembly room, and then they got vending machines and complimentary coffee, cocoa, water, tea are available for jurors in the first floor jury assembly room. Orientation. They said they will also provide you with a list of many restaurants within walking distance. They also have a refrigerator and microwave in the jury assembly room for if you decide to bring your lunch. I thought that was really nice of them. Then, of course, they got, the excuses, emergency contacts. Since you can't have your phone, they'll have it where if there's an emergency, they will take the information and give it to you. And so that kind of thing. Then, of course, they tell you what you need to do, like be punctual, no marijuana, no tobacco use, not to prop your feet on tables or chairs, no bottles, beverage containers, paper cups, edibles, or chewing gum should be brought into the courtroom. No reading materials allowed in the courtroom unless it's part of the evidence in the case. Everyone must rise when instructed to do so. Anyone who appears under the influence of anything will be held in contempt. No talking will be permitted. While court is in session. Courtrooms are cool. Bring a sweater or jacket, which I did find that out. I kind of thought when I went to testify, I can't remember if the first time I took one to testify and I didn't get to, or I knew it was the second time. I think the first time I figured out that it was going to be cold, and so the next time I brought a cardigan with me, and I think the next time when I got to testify after that, I did the same thing. But that first time, I don't think I brought a cardigan. And so I wished I had brought a cardigan and that kind of thing. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get to testify in that first one because I was already cold and, like I said, everything else. So I think that's nice that they informed you of that, because nobody told me to bring a sweater or a jacket or cardigan or anything like that. So I'm like, that's good to know. And then, of course, like I said, they tell you all about the parking lot and how much it's going to cost if you're going to park and that kind of thing. So I'm currently, right now, like I said, it looks like an alternate juror, unless otherwise stated. I find out, like I said, October 4th at 5 p.m., after 5 p.m., if I'm going to need to be appearing or not, and whether or not that's going to happen. I figure, to be honest, I'll probably end up being in a jury, in a trial, because I thought that's just probably what's going to happen, is I'll call on the 4th, and I will still be a part of it, so, because I'm kind of torn between getting it over with, just so I can say I did it, get the feeling over with of being nervous, worried, scared, just get it done, and being torn between I really don't want to, and I kind of hope I don't have to, and I'm just like, I'm just pretty sure I'm going to have to, that when I call at after 5 p.m. on the 4th, that's what's going to happen. So right now, we're just waiting to find out if I am officially or not. So October 4th I find out. October 8th is when I'm supposed to appear if I am one. So I just thought I'd update you guys on the fact that looks like I'm an alternate juror at this moment. And thank you for watching. Bye.